When it comes to attraction, desire often speaks in silence. Psychology teaches us that the human mind communicates long before the lips ever form words. A woman who secretly desires you may not confess it outright, but her actions, her energy, and her presence will often reveal what her heart is reluctant to say. Understanding these signals isn't about manipulation. It's about awareness, respect, and connection. The first sign is in her eyes. Attraction sharpens attention, and when she desires you, her gaze will linger just a little longer than necessary. She may glance away quickly when caught, or she may hold your eyes with a spark of curiosity. Eye contact is not just a look, it's an invitation, a window into what she feels, but won't say aloud. The second sign is in her body language. Psychology shows us that when we want someone, our bodies lean in, seeking closeness. She may mirror your movements, angle her body toward you, or find subtle reasons to stay within your space. These aren't rehearsed performances. They are unconscious expressions of desire flowing naturally from the human instinct to connect. The third sign is in her voice. Pay attention to the way she speaks when she's around you. Her tone may soften. Her words may carry more warmth, and laughter may come more easily in your presence. It's not about what she says, it's about how she says it. Desire makes communication lighter, more playful, more alive. The fourth sign is in the little touches, a brush of her hand, adjusting her hair when you walk by, or finding reasons to make contact. These are subtle ways of breaking the barrier between distance and closeness. Physical cues are powerful, and when they are paired with openness in her energy, they often speak louder than words. And finally, the fifth sign is emotional openness. If she desires you, she will let her guard down just a little. She will share more of herself, seek your opinion, or open up about her feelings. Psychology tells us that desire isn't just physical. It's rooted in trust, vulnerability, and the willingness to be seen. When she begins to let you into her inner world, that is one of the clearest signs of her attraction. The eyes are often called the windows of the soul, and for good reason. Psychology confirms what human instinct has always known. Our eyes reveal emotions we might never dare to speak. When a woman feels secret desire for someone, it often shows in the way she looks at him. It could be a lingering gaze that lasts just a moment too long, or it might be quick glances when she thinks he isn't watching. These moments may seem small, but they carry powerful meaning. They show where her attention is drawn, and attention is one of the clearest signs of attraction. Eye contact has a unique ability to create intimacy without a single word. When her gaze locks with yours, there is a transfer of energy, a silent message that says, "I see you, and I feel something toward you." Sometimes she may quickly look away, almost embarrassed by her own openness. But even that act of retreat speaks volumes. It signals that something in her is stirred, something she may not yet be ready to voice aloud. The dance between looking and looking away is not random. It's an unconscious revelation of desire mixed with vulnerability. There is also a noticeable change in her expression when desire is present. Her pupils may dilate, her eyes may widen slightly, and her face might light up in your presence. These are not deliberate actions. They are biological responses to attraction. Her eyes may sparkle with liveliness, and her focus on you becomes sharper, as though the rest of the room fades away. In those moments, you are not just someone she sees. You become the center of her attention. But what makes this even more powerful is not just the physical cues, but the emotional connection that eye contact creates. When she allows herself to hold your gaze even briefly, it is an act of trust. She is letting you glimpse her feelings in their raw, unguarded form. That openness is significant because desire is not just about physical attraction. It is also about the willingness to connect on a deeper level. Yet, it's important to approach this awareness with respect. Recognizing the signs in her eyes should never be about using them for advantage or ego. Instead, it should inspire you to meet her openness with sincerity. The gift of being seen in this way is not something to take lightly. It is a reminder that connection begins with presence, with noticing, with valuing, with responding thoughtfully. So, when her eyes reveal what her lips do not, pay attention. It is her way of showing interest without words, of signaling trust without direct confession. In those silent exchanges, you can discover more about her feelings than any spoken phrase could ever express. And if you respond with patience and respect, you transform that spark of attraction into the foundation of something meaningful and lasting. The body often speaks long before words do. And when a woman feels desire, her physical cues can be more honest than anything she might say. Psychology explains that much of our communication is nonverbal. And in moments of attraction, the body naturally leans into what it wants. If she secretly desires you, her body will often give it away through small instinctive actions that she may not even realize she's doing. These aren't rehearsed signals or conscious performances. They are the natural language of closeness and connection. One of the clearest signs is proximity. When a woman is drawn to you, she will look for reasons to stay close, whether it's standing near you in a group, leaning toward you during a conversation, or finding subtle ways to share your space. This closeness is her way of saying without words, "I feel safe with you, and I want to be near you." It's an instinctive reflection of comfort and attraction. Mirroring is another powerful cue. If you notice she copies your movements, crossing her legs when you do, adjusting her posture in a similar way, or even matching your pace while walking, this is rarely a coincidence. Psychologists call this synchrony, and it happens when people subconsciously want to build rapport. Her body is essentially aligning with yours, signaling harmony and a desire for deeper connection. Then there are the smaller, more delicate gestures. She might tuck her hair behind her ear, lightly touch her neck, or play with a piece of jewelry while talking to you. These subtle movements often indicate nervous excitement, a mix of attraction and vulnerability. Even something as simple as tilting her head while listening can reveal openness and interest. Each small gesture is like a whisper from her subconscious, drawing you into her unspoken world. Touch is another undeniable indicator. It doesn't have to be obvious. A light brush against your arm, a playful nudge, or accidental contact can all be her way of breaking the physical barrier between you. These gestures may seem casual on the surface, but they often carry the deeper message that she's comfortable enough to close the distance. It's her body's way of testing and building trust, inviting you to notice without demanding you respond. What matters most in all of this is awareness. Too many people miss these signals because they are distracted or focused only on words. But when you train yourself to pay attention to body language, you gain a deeper understanding of what she truly feels. This awareness should never be used to manipulate. It should guide you toward respect and care. Recognizing her openness means responding with patience, not assumption. Creating an environment where she feels valued, not pressured. The truth is, her body often reveals what her heart is hesitant to confess. Desire flows through posture, gestures, and movements that cannot be easily hidden. If you learn to listen to this silent language with wisdom, you will discover not only attraction, but the beginnings of a trust that can grow into something far more meaningful. The voice is one of the most overlooked yet powerful indicators of attraction. Psychology shows us that when someone is drawn to another person, the way they speak naturally shifts. A woman who secretly desires you may not say it outright, but her tone, rhythm, and laughter often carry the truth her words may hide. It's not so much what she says, it's how she says it that reveals her deeper feelings. You might notice that her voice softens when she talks to you. It becomes warmer, smoother, more inviting, as though every word is meant only for your ears. This is an unconscious shift, not something planned, and it signals comfort and openness. She may lower her tone slightly, creating an intimate atmosphere, or her speech might slow down, allowing the moment between you two linger. Each of these subtle changes is her way of drawing you closer without making it obvious. Laughter is another strong signal. When a woman is attracted to someone, she often laughs more easily in their presence, even at things that might not be especially funny. It isn't about the joke itself. It's about the joy she feels in your company. That laughter is her body's way of releasing the excitement and energy that attraction stirs within her. It becomes lighter, more frequent, and often carries a tone of playfulness, a spark that invites you to join in the moment. Pay attention also to the energy in her words. When she desires you, her conversations may carry more enthusiasm, more engagement. She'll ask questions, show genuine curiosity, and seem invested in what you share. Her voice will rise and fall with emotion, making even simple conversations feel alive. This is her way of signaling interest, of showing that she values not only your presence, but also your thoughts. Sometimes attraction shows itself in nervous energy within her voice. She might stumble slightly over her words, giggle unexpectedly, or repeat herself. While this may look like clumsiness, it often reflects the heightened awareness she feels around you. Desire can make even the most confident person a little self-conscious, and her voice becomes the place where that vulnerability quietly slips out. What makes these vocal cues so powerful is the intimacy they create. Words can be carefully chosen, but tone and laughter are raw and real. They reveal what is happening beneath the surface, offering you a glimpse into her heart. Listening closely allows you to hear not only the content of her speech, but the emotion behind it. Recognizing these signs, however, requires sensitivity. It is not about overanalyzing or rushing to assumptions. Instead, it's about appreciating the unspoken layers of communication and meeting them with respect. When you respond with patience, in presence, you allow her the space to open up further, deepening both trust and connection. A woman's voice in moments of desire is more than sound. It is music. It carries warmth, vulnerability, and energy that words alone cannot express. If you learn to listen beyond the surface, you will discover that her voice tells a story her lips may never directly admit. A story of attraction, openness, and the possibility of something greater. When a woman secretly desires you, her presence speaks louder than her words. One of the most powerful signs comes through her body language. The subtle, often unconscious, gestures that reveal what her heart may be trying to conceal. Psychology tells us that attraction naturally seeps into posture, movement, and touch because our bodies tend to express what our minds try to keep hidden. If you learn to notice these signals with awareness and respect, you unlock an entirely new layer of connection. Think about how she positions herself when you are near. If she leans closer during conversation, even when there's plenty of space, it shows a natural pull toward you. Her body may angle itself in your direction, her feet pointed at you, even in a group setting, signaling focus and interest. These aren't accidental. They're instinctive choices made by her subconscious mind, revealing that she feels drawn to your presence. Then there are the smaller, fleeting gestures, playing with her hair, adjusting her clothes, or lightly touching her lips while talking. These micro-movements often come from heightened self-awareness in your company. She may not even realize she's doing them, but they suggest she wants to present her best self to you. Attraction heightens sensitivity, and her body begins to express that inner energy through these little actions. Touch is another powerful signal. She might brush against your arm in what seems like a casual moment, or lightly place her hand on yours when making a point. Though brief, such touches carry deep meaning. They are invitations for closeness, a test to see if you welcome her energy. Even in a crowded place, she may find subtle reasons to maintain physical proximity, closing the distance in ways that feel natural, but are rarely accidental. Eye contact is also a language of its own. When a woman desires you, her gaze lingers longer than usual. She might glance away quickly when caught, only to look back again, unable to resist the pull. In that exchange of glances lies a silent conversation, vulnerability, curiosity, and attraction woven into one unspoken message. The eyes, after all, are windows to the soul, and in them you often find truths that words could never capture. But recognizing these signals is not just about observation, it's about approach. If you meet her openness with gentleness and respect, you create a safe space for her to express her feelings more fully. Body language is not an invitation to rush, but a sign to slow down, to listen deeper, to honor the vulnerability she is showing without words. Ultimately, attraction is not a performance. It is a flow of energy between two people. Her body language reflects that energy, often in ways she cannot disguise. When you train yourself to see it, you begin to notice the beauty of connection. Not just in spoken conversations, but in the silent moments between them. And in those moments where glances, gestures, and subtle touches speak louder than words, you discover a truth that is both simple and profound. Desire is often silent, but it is never hidden. At the heart of it all, the signs of desire are not about manipulation or games. They are about connection. A woman may never put her attraction into words, but her body, her eyes, and her energy will reveal truths that language often hides. When you learn to notice these signals, you begin to step into a deeper awareness of human intimacy, an awareness that goes beyond surface-level interactions and into the realm of authenticity. The lesson here is not to overanalyze every move, but to recognize the beauty of presence and attention. Desire does not scream, it whispers. It shows itself in closeness, in subtle gestures, in shared glances, and in the quiet courage of vulnerability. If you cultivate patience and respect, you will not only see these signs more clearly, but you will also learn to respond in a way that honors the connection, instead of rushing it or taking it for granted. True intimacy is never built on pressure. It is built on trust, understanding, and the ability to read the unspoken. When you approach these moments with awareness, you transform desire from something fleeting into something meaningful. That is the real power of recognizing these signals, not to exploit them, but to nurture them into a bond that lasts. So remember this: attraction may begin in silence, but when treated with respect and care, it can grow into a connection that speaks louder than words, shaping relationships that are unforgettable and deeply fulfilling.